Welcome to Fix It Home Improvement, covering projects that every homeowner should know and great products for home and garden.
Hi, I'm JC, and this is where we share weekly home improvement tips. I'm here with my co-host, Cindy.
Hello, JC.
Hi, Cindy. This week, we're going to be talking about couches, and we want to thank whoever gave us a 5-star rating on Amazon for our 10th home improvement ebook. They didn't leave a name. And if you've downloaded a copy of our book 10 and you like it, we'd appreciate a review on Amazon. The more reviews we get, it helps with Amazon suggesting our books to new readers. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs had sofa-like benches that were covered with blankets and cushions. Wealthy ancient Romans had a sofa that kind of looked like a chaise longue, and the average person...
Is that how you say it?
Chaise longue? Yeah, French word. So you do the chaise...
Oh, because you took French, you know?
Yes, I took a year of French in high school. So it's either pronounced chaise or chaise, although in the Midwest, most people call it a chaise lounge. But the average...
Very sophisticated.
That's right. So the average Roman, they wouldn't have anything padded. They would primarily have a wood bench if they wanted something for multiple people sitting on it in their homes. I went to 7 furniture stores and talked to quite a few salespeople to get some tips on buying a couch. And all the stores I went to and most of the companies I looked at online call it a sofa, but everyone I know call it a couch. And I looked online, and most people in the U.S. will call it a couch, except for areas in the Northeast where they call it a sofa. And some parts of the Midwest, they call it a Davenport.
I've never heard that.
Really? Yeah, I think my grandparents called it a Davenport. So the Davenport Company made couches in the 1800s and into the early 1900s. And I haven't quite yet decided what we should call this episode, either sofas or couches.
No. Yes.
Couches?
Yes.
Here in the Chicago area, the furniture stores I went to were Art Van's, Bob's Discount Furniture, Darvin, Ashley Home Store, Dania Furniture, Value City Furniture, and Penny Mustard. And the Darvin by us is huge. You been there?
No.
You
never take me anywhere.
They have a lot of brochures. They have informational videos going, a lot of salespeople. And they were very helpful with questions that I had. They looked up a bunch of things for me. But I think the best signage was in Bob's Discount Furniture. So they had a tag on each couch that had the price for that piece and the price with other pieces.
Uh-huh.
And it also listed the material like 100% polyester and the cleaning code. It also listed the frame, the suspension, and the cushions. So on one label I looked at, it said the frame is steel box. It has hardwood and high-density oriented strand board. The suspension is a no-sag sinuous spring, and the cushions are 1.8 density Dacron wrapped foam with coil cushions and gel-infused memory foam.
So we should be excited about this?
Well, I thought it was nice that they had all that information there, where the other stores I had to ask the salespeople, some of these key questions. And I think those are 3 things you should be comparing on couches when you're looking at it: the frame, the suspension, and the cushions.
Okay, so are we done with this podcast then?
The most common types of frame material are engineered wood, like particle board, MDF, or plywood. And plywood would be the most durable for a couch out of those 3. And the type of wood that makes up the plywood is going to be a factor for its longevity. One salesperson I talked to emphasized that their sofas had 100% all plywood frames, no particle board, OSB, MDF, or chipboard. He said it's for better strength and durability. Their sofa had a 1-year warranty on the frame. Another salesperson had a sofa with 7/8 furniture-grade hardwood plywood made out of 7 1/8-inch laminated alternating grain layers for strength and stability. And their frame had a limited lifetime warranty. So it's interesting how both had plywood frames,
right?
But huge difference in the warranty. You can get a solid wood frame, and hardwood is considered the best quality, so look for ash, oak, cherry, walnut, or beech. A couple salespeople said this is the only type of frame that they recommend. Softwood like pine and fir aren't considered as durable, and one salesperson said softwoods don't hold up well with heavy use or a lot of moves, and the frame can bend or break. A couple salespeople said to look for kiln-dried hardwood, K-I-L-N. So 90 to 95% of the moisture is removed, and that's going to help prevent warping and bending. Another salesperson said most companies that use hardwood and have the better quality joints, they're only using kiln-dried wood, even if it's not listed on the specifications.
So you talked to a lot of people this week?
Yes, I did. Took a lot of notes. There are plastic frames in inexpensive couches and metal frames. Some salespeople...
Plastic frames?
Yeah,
What
interesting.
are they, toy couches?
Really light couches. Some metal frame couches can be disassembled so it'll fit through narrow doorways, a hallway, or upstairs. And one of the suggestions I got was to grab the couch and try to twist it.
Why?
And to see how stable the frame is. And then grab it and pick it up from one corner. And it shouldn't twist. And you're listening for creaking noises or movement in the frame. So that's from a professional. Another salesperson said if you have kids sit on, push against, and jump off the arms. So you should be testing the arms. So he said push hard on the arms and look for any signs that they're weak.
Or bring your kid to the showroom.
Yeah, really. Check how the frame is joined together. With solid wood frames, the best is going to be mortise and tenon joints or dowels and glued joints. You're also looking for corner blocks to strengthen the joints. One salesperson said their better sofas have heavy-duty metal brackets in the corners, and that helps prevent any movement. You want to look for reinforced with glues and screws, or screws and nails, or screws and brackets. Stapled corners or nailed and stapled won't be as durable with a lot of use or if you move the furniture a lot. Mm-hmm. One salesperson said, check the frame warranty when you're comparing sofas. Theirs had a lifetime warranty.
Interesting.
The suspension of a couch is what's supporting the seat and the back cushions. The most common are coil springs, serpentine springs, webbing, or a wire grid. And some sofas may have coil suspension for the seat cushions and then serpentine springs for the back cushions. A couple of the salespeople said the 8-way hand-tied coil springs are the best, but they're going to be the most expensive. And these springs are tied together with twine, straps, or metal wire, and that gives it more support and durability. Although one gentleman I spoke to said most people can't tell the difference between 8-way hand-tied individual coil springs or serpentine. And he just seemed angry about the whole thing. One store said that their sofas have individual coil springs, and that's going to support each person. So if someone sits down next to you, they won't lean into you.
Okay.
The most common suspension is serpentine springs. So these are wavy metal rods that go across the frame. They're also called an S-spring system. The webbing systems use polypropylene or rubber straps to support the cushions. So polypropylene is like seatbelt material. It's very strong and durable, and you want it attached to the frame using clips rather than straps if you want the most durable.
Okay.
If you see Pirelli suspension or Pirelli webbing, it's Pirelli. This is a rubber and cord strap suspension. The jute webbing, Jute, isn't going to be as durable. And the wire grid suspension is found on your less expensive couches. A couple of the salespeople said if you see Flexilator, that's a wire grid system. The cushions will be primarily some type of foam or foam with soft material around it, usually called a batting. Mm-hmm. Or it can be foam with down feathers. Some couches have cushions with springs inside, and then they're covered with soft material. And there is a wide range of firmness when you're testing the cushions on these couches.
Right.
I had a lot of fun sitting on a lot of couches the last few days.
My grandparents in their basement had an old couch.
Okay.
Well, everything in their house was old. But the couch, you sat on it and you basically just sunk to the floor.
Right.
The cushions were so old, and so they were like foam. It was really ugly. And then upstairs in their fancy living room,
okay,
they had these red velvet couches.
Wow,
not kidding.
fancy.
Red velvet. And one was a couch, one was a love seat. But for 20 years, they had plastic on it, so
okay.
Nobody sat on it.
Yeah.
So then after
weird.
20 years, they took it off, and then you sat on it, and it was like sitting on a rock.
Right.
So it was a tale of two couches at Grandma and Grandpa's house.
What's funny is most of the salespeople I spoke to really like the high-density firm cushions. They say it gives more support and it's going to retain its shape better and last longer. And one of the samples I saw from an expensive couch had cushions with 5 layers. It had a high-density foam core, a layer of gel-infused memory foam, real feathers over that, and then a couple layers of soft material. So it was pretty wild feeling because it felt soft kind of at the top,
Right.
but it really held its shape.
Mm.
And one salesman said, focus on the warranty when you're looking at cushions, and his had a lifetime warranty, of course. And then with that cushion, though, it had a 1-year warranty on the fabric covering it. And this gentleman was also talking about the frame. If you buy a quality frame with a lifetime warranty, if after 10 years or so you don't like the fabric anymore, or if it gets damaged, you can replace the fabric,
Right.
and you still have a wonderful frame. One store said if the cushions have the pounds per cubic feet, and you're comparing sofas side by side, the one that's heavier per cubic foot is going to be more durable. So they had 2.5 pound per cubic foot foam, and he said the 1.2 pound per cubic foot foam comes on less expensive couches. They're not going to be as durable. One salesman had 1.8 high density foam cores covered with memory foam for softness. So when you initially set on it, and he liked that soft layer over a firm core.
Okay.
He said to avoid the lightweight soft foam, it's not going to last, and polyester fiber fill will flatten out over time. And if you get cushions with real feathers, look for downproof linings so the feathers don't poke through. Most of the stores I went to and online, you can choose from a lot of different materials to cover the cushions and the frame. And I'll try to remember to put a couple pictures on Instagram. A couple of these stores had like a wall of different material that you could pick from. It's pretty wild. If you have a lot of guests, kids, or pets that are going to be on your couch, look for a material that's easy to clean. It's stain resistant. The cushions can be removed for cleaning and rotating. And look at the cleaning codes. W means you can use water-based cleaners. S means you can only use solvents or dry cleaning products. WS means you could use either. And if you see an X on the label, you can only vacuum it or brush it. You can't use any liquid cleaners. A couple salespeople said stay away from 100% cotton if you're going to be getting a lot of use because it's harder to get out stains and it wrinkles. They say a cotton blend or synthetic material is going to be more durable if it's going to get a lot of wear.
Interesting.
For pets, look for a fabric with a tight weave. It's stain resistant and it has a pattern. A couple salespeople recommended leather for dogs because it's easy to wipe off. Cloth can pick up dog odor. They say cats, though, can damage leather if they're going to scratch at it.
No kidding. You should look at my office chair.
A bunch of stores recommended microfiber, though, for kids, dogs, and cats. They say it's very easy to clean and very durable.
Right.
For durability, look at the fabric wearability code. It's also called the double rub test or the Weisenbeck test. They take the material and they rub it back and forth against a screen or another abrasive material to see how well it's going to stand up to wear. If it's rated HD, it's heavy duty. The fabric will stand up to more than 15,000 double rubs on this machine. This is great for couches that will get a lot of wear. MD is medium duty, and it's between 9,000 to 15,000 double rubs. They say if you have kids or pets, look for 10 to 15,000. LD is light duty. It ranges from 3,000 to 9,000 double rubs, and this is good for a couch that's just going to get occasional use.
Okay.
And one article I read said 3,000 double rubs equals an average year of normal use. So that kind of gives you a feel for what you're looking for your home.
Right.
Furniture with the UFAC tag, so that's the Upholstered Furniture Action Council. This tag means it uses material that's resistant to smoldering cigarettes and it's fire resistant. The problem with some of the flame retardant chemicals is some have been found to be toxic, especially to children, and firefighters are concerned about some of these chemicals. So the UFAC is now planning on working with companies to certify products that are fire resistant and don't have toxic chemicals.
That's good.
So it's something to keep track of as standards change. And a couple salespeople said they see less furniture now with this tag.
Okay.
The cushions can be attached or loose. The attached cushions are on many of the higher priced sofas. They say they hold their shape better, they look better longer, they usually are more supportive, and you don't have to fluff them. A couple salespeople like the loose cushions better though. You can rotate them, you can fluff them, you can clean them much easier. They're going to be much lighter if you're moving the sofa.
Right.
And if you ever want to change the fabric or the material, it's going to be easier to do. With the back cushion, you may see semi-attached. So the top of the back cushion is zippered or sewn in place. So it stays in place and it looks really neat, but it can be refilled or fluffed.
Oh, that's nice. So the first couch I bought, the back cushions were all attached.
Okay.
So I liked it, but then they started to get smushed, from sitting on it all the time.
Right.
So then I couldn't fill them.
Okay.
And then the cat also made a hole in the top cushion, and you decided you were going to fix it, and then you made it much, much bigger.
I had to make it bigger so the video looked good when I repaired it.
Right, but then the repair didn't work, and so I had to have a blanket over the cushions. So the second couch I bought, all the cushions are removable.
Right.
So I have a routine now that every other week I rotate all the cushions. So I flip them over. And so they're not going to get flat when it's held up. So that's nice.
Yeah, very smart. For comfort, test the cushions and the height of the back cushion for support. And then compare the depth of the bottom cushion. Tall people like it deeper. And if you like to lay back on the couch, deeper can be more comfortable. But it may not let you set back far enough for some people. So it's not going to be comfortable. And also check the height from the bottom cushion to the floor and see what's comfortable for you. So you can get, different depths to the sofa itself and also different heights. And a lower height on the back is good if you have a window that it's going to be going under, for example.
Oh, that's
so
great.
so there's a lot of dimensions you should be comparing.
Right.
Another good measurement is the width. If you plan on napping a lot on your couch, you want to make sure it's long enough to be comfortable. But the main measurements are doorways, hallways, stairs, elevators, or areas that you're going to be moving the couch through to make it inside your house. If you have a tight space, you might want to look for removable feet, removable cushions, or frames that can be disassembled.
Right.
I was amazed at some of the features you can get now on couches. There are adjustable headrests, arms with storage compartments, cup holders in the arms, built-in lights that adjust for reading. You can get USB chargers, and a lot of the couches had 2 or 3 chair-like reclining sections with electric motors. So at the stores I went to, it varied from 1 inch up to 8 inches of space that was required behind the sofa for it to recline.
So that you're planning.
Yeah, that's definitely something you should be comparing if you're looking at recliners, how much room you need behind it. And a couple of the sofas I saw with the chair-like sections, you couldn't lay across it if you wanted to, lay on your couch.
Right.
But
you only get to sit on it.
Right. But they did recline pretty well. There's also a lot of configurations. If you need a large seating area, you can get modular or sectional sofas. Sectional generally means it's a sofa with a love seat or a sofa and a chaise longue. Modular usually has a wider selection of pieces and shapes, and they can be arranged in multiple ways.
Right.
So if you like to change the look, or if you plan on moving to a new house, you can adjust it to fit.
You could add more sections to it too, right?
Right, yeah. Some of the top companies that were recommended by salespeople I spoke to: Daniels, England, Klausner, it's Klaussner, Lacrosse, LA, capital CROSSE, and Smith Brothers. Some top-rated online companies: Article, ARTICLE, IKEA, West Elm, Crate and Barrel, Benchmade Modern, Design Within Reach, Interior Define, Joybird, and Pottery Barn.
Do you have anything else to add?
I would start with measuring doorways and how much room you have to work with. before you go shopping. And then measure the space for your couch so it looks good with other furniture and your accents.
Let's wrap this up.
You can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Himalaya, or your favorite podcast app.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review.
You can check out our home improvement videos on our YouTube channel, Fix It Home Improvement.
And you can subscribe to that as well.
You can download our ebooks, Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, books 1 through 10 on Amazon.
If you enjoyed it, please leave a 5-star rating and review.
You can email us at fixitpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow Cindy on Twitter at FixItCohost, and you can follow us on Instagram, Fix It Home Improvement.
Thank you for listening.
Talk to you next week.